In this video, we're going to be going through using the Cipherlab batch scanner with ThunderPOS.net and also with the ThunderPOS Windows client. For those of you who are not familiar with the Cipherlab batch scanner, I'm going to just bring up a picture of it here from our website. This is a little device that you can use to go around your store and scan a whole bunch of items, like up to 1,000 items at a time, and then you'll bring it back, place it in a cradle, and you will get a file off of it that you can then upload into the system to do a variety of things. We're going to go through some of those things in this video, but it can be incredibly powerful for doing purchase orders, for doing physical inventories for certain, for doing, you can do importing at the register so that you can add a whole bunch of items at once to do like line breaking. And that's actually where we're going to start here. So we're actually going to go out to ThunderPOS.net and we are going to go to the register. And I have a batch file that I've taken from a Cipherlab scanner that has 40 items on it. So we're going to go to Actions here, and then we're going to go to Import. And then you will see that you can select a file. You'll just select the file that you've pulled from the batch scanner. And then you select whether by default it's new or used. Or you can do trade-ins in the case of the register. But if it is new or used, the whole batch does have to be new or used unless you are using the barcode prefix feature, in which case the barcode prefixes will be brought in. But once you've selected, we'll just say that these are new. Once you've selected, you just hit submit here. And you'll see that very quickly here, we had a blank invoice. We've added those 40 items to the invoice. We still get our promotions and everything. There are certain features that this will bypass, like collecting serial numbers because of the nature of how this goes. But very quickly, we can add a whole bunch of items to the invoice. And you could have scanned those items while you were ringing out somebody else, for example. So one employee could have been line breaking with this person who is buying 40 items and just had that 40 item list ready to go. Or it could have been 500 items or 1,000 items, or basically however many. We tend to recommend you stop at about 1,000, but the actual capacity of the scanner is higher than that. And then you can just go through and complete your transaction just like you would any other transaction, and it's done. So very quick. You can also, in any case where you are using the batch scanner, you can use a mixture. So for example, we could have imported and then added more items the normal way if they made the choice to add some additional things. Another area, and the area that probably this is most widely used for, is in a physical inventory process. So if we go into a physical inventory here, we're going to cancel this one that was in process, and we're just going to start a new one with all categories and departments. And then you can just import spreadsheet or batch scanner. So this is from a batch scanner, so we would just select upload a file from a batch scanner. And it will add in the items that we have scanned. And you can do as many batches like this as you need to for the physical inventory. Typically you would have, if you're doing your whole store, you might have, if you've got 20,000 items, you might be doing 20 batches or more. But you can do as many as you need. Just have to make sure that you scan each item once and that all of the batches get uploaded. So if we do that and submit. Now it just went through because all of those were found. In the event that there was an item that was not found, it would have given us a error report saying that this item, for example, was not found, or it wasn't in the particular department or category that we were inventorying. But in this case, because those items all were, because we did the whole store, it just proceeded and it brought all those scans in. So we would be good to continue on and on until we were finished with the entire inventory. Similar to that, you can also utilize it to do a purchase order and build out a new purchase order. So let's say we have received a box of stuff that we want to bring in. So we'll create a new purchase order here. And then just in the hamburger menu up here in the top right, anywhere that you see this import, that means that this batch scanner can be used. So you just go there, you say import, and you can either upload and automatically receive the quantity, or you can do it without receiving, which will just build it out as ordered but not received. And that's just depending on whether you are needing to simply build out the order to place the order, or if you're wanting to actually receive it. But more commonly, you would be receiving it. So we'll just, again, do this same old item, and you submit it, and it will build out your purchase order. Yeah, so again, all of these are ways that you can very quickly do functions that normally would take quite a long time to do within the point of sale. And the main reason you would want to do this is if you are dealing with large quantities of items at a time. But even just within physical inventory, this can usually allow for you to do more common physical inventories, to do specific department or category checks much more frequently, because you'll be able to do them much more quickly. So customers who are using these and using them regularly are often able to keep on top of their physical inventory and track their shrinkage a lot closer than somebody who's only doing an annual physical inventory and they're dragging every item in the store up to the register to do it. So this is going to close out where we're looking in ThunderPOS.net, but we'll take a look here in Windows here in a moment. So we are looking at the Windows version here. We're just going to run through a couple of the same sort of functions we just did. So if we go into activities and then physical inventory, so we're going to cancel this one that was in process. So we're going to actually start one just to see what it does. We're going to start one that's not going to have any of the items that we just did. And I'm going to just grab that file here. And we are going to take that file here. And we're just going to import from device. It'll ask if the batch is new or used. We'll say it's new. Again, I would expect this to get rejected. It's a text file, so we just grab that. And it's going to tell us it's going to take a little bit longer from the Windows client than it does from the back office, but it will here in a moment tell us that some records could not be processed and that it's going to show us an error report. So when we hit OK here, it's going to give us that pretty much every item that we had scanned is in a different category that is not in the current physical inventory, because I selected just a category and department for the physical inventory. So it does reject those. It lets us know what was not okay. Which if you scan something that's not in your inventory at all, it will give you an error just saying this item number was not in the quantity. Go ahead and cancel there. So then similarly in purchase orders, doing a import here, you just go through the more button here and you can either receive from device or add from device. We'll say receive from device, and then it will ask if it's new or used, and you just select that and you bring it in, and it will allow us to add these items to the purchase order. And it's going to take just a minute here, and then there it is. So, similar functionality to the back office. You can do the same things either through ThunderPOS.net or through Windows. But either way, this device can be an enormous time saver. You can also use multiple of them and just, have different employees scanning different areas of your physical inventory, for example. You can actually have them share the same cradle, so you just keep one hooked up to the computer and then they just come up and drop off the batches. But if you have any questions about these devices, if you want to purchase one, you just contact sales or buy it through our website, which is thunderpos.com or registerdesigner.com. There will also be a link to the device in our shop directly in the description of this video. If you have any questions once you've got one about using it, just give us a call and we will be happy to help out.